We're back live inside Studio 10 America. Just a few months ago, we started getting these strange emails from viewers that were making reference to things that
we didn't know what they were talking about.
Things that never happened on our show, guests that we never had. We didn't know what was going on.
Right, so we looked into it. We started communicating with them, and our producer Mark Thorne ended up, well, you were corresponding with them online, even on Facebook and whatnot.
Yeah, so we figured out there was a Studio 10 in Australia.
Yes.
It's like sort of a combination of the Today Show and The View, but the thing that really caught us, there's one of the co-hosts on the show, her name is Ida Buttrose.
And she's Australian Woman of the Year, so she's a big deal in Australia.
Australian of the Year.
Right, the whole continent.
So we hooked up with them via satellite the other night. They're 16 hours ahead of us, so we had to come in here at about 6:45 earlier this week, and we were live with them on their show. It was a great time, and we really had a lot of fun.
It was so much fun. My only thing is it went by so quickly. It seemed like it was over. I had all things Australia to ask them about, like great white sharks and Grant Balfour and this whole list of things I wanted to get to that we didn't get to, but maybe on the next go-round.
Hopefully we'll get another shot. Well, here's our chat with Studio 10 Australia. Take a look.
Alrighty, well, we thought the hashtag Studio 10 was just trending really well for us, but it turns out there's another Studio 10.
What?
A twin sister.
So weird. Like,
living in the United States.
But how can they be, like, if we talk to them, will the universe collapse in on itself? Is it like Back to the Future?
It's very
like
Twilight Zone. It's freaking us out. It's a TV show that shares our name, but it is very different. Have a look.
So Steinhoisting, explain how this works. It's harder than it sounds. So you just hold it straight out?
Hold the stein out, keep your elbow locked,
okay,
and have a nice 90-degree angle.
I would bring your head down.
Right.
Just relax.
Okay.
And then I would basically drive the forearm right across your chest. But I'll do it just half speed. Like.
What do you mean it's different? It's exactly the same.
Exactly the same, but with better looking hosts.
It's exactly the same, except usually it's Ida that punches me out.
I do not.
No.
All right, with us now from their studio in St. Petersburg in Florida, Studio 10 co-hosts Jerome, Ritchey and Roxanne Weidler.
Good morning.
From our Studio 10 to your Studio 10, hello, Australia.
Oh, thank you so much for being
Florida.
on our little show. Hey, tell us about your show.
Well, I guess it's not quite as news-oriented as your show. We do our share of celebrity interviews. We have a lot of local bands on, a lot of local newsmakers. The lighter side of the news, I guess you could say.
A lot of entertainment and a lot of what's going on in the Tampa Bay area.
And can I ask, for purely legal reasons, when did you think of the name Studio 10?
I was way back in the 20th century, I think. Well, we'll let it slide. It's okay. You can keep using our name. Yes. It's no problem.
That's right. In that case, please don't sue us. And Roxanne, you've interviewed Matt Damon.
Yes, I have. I absolutely loved Matt Damon, but you know who my favorite is?
Who?
My favorite all-time celebrity, Hugh Jackman. Yeah. He was such a gentleman.
They're good, aren't they?
We don't mind lending him to you, but you can't have him.
Can't have him. Not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Sudden cold front.
He's my
entered
favorite.
Studio
I
10.
loved him. So kind.
Jerome, you were a weather forecaster, I think, and the hurricane season is something that happens in Florida every year. Is it coming? Is it been? Are you on hurricane watch?
We're just out of hurricane season. This is I can't believe I'm doing the weather in Australia. This is so surreal. No, we just came out of hurricane season, so this is really kind of the quiet time in Florida in regard to hurricanes. Hurricane season starts later on this year and runs through November 30th. June to November, basically, is hurricane season. But now you guys are just coming out of, this is like late summer for you, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you know your stuff.
You do. And,
well, there you go.
And Jerome, when can we kind of do maybe a studio swap? We could come to Florida, you guys could come to Sydney. What do you think?
It's a good deal.
I think we do that. That's a great idea. I think we do that April Fool's Day. But do you do April Fool's Day in Australia?
Yes. Yeah, we thought of that in the 20th century.
Australia Day a couple weeks ago, right?
I'm thinking you guys come here, we'll go there, you pay for everything, and we're set to go.
That's right. We'll pick up. I just want to say for the record, we are very happy to pick up the airfares. Just please, just back off the lawsuit. Just don't sue us. Everything's sweet.
Speaking of that trip, you know, we're a morning show. We like our coffee, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts. From what I've heard, the Australians set the bar much higher when it comes to coffee consumption. So if we were to go to Australia, who has the best coffee? Is it in Melbourne, Perth, or Sydney?
Oh, now you're starting a war. You are starting a war, Roxanne.
I think wherever it is, we'll do our best to make it worse so that you feel at home.
He's joking. He's
I've got a
joking.
question. Hey, how did Ida Buttrose become the Australian of the Year last year? What did she like save a family from a burning house or save a baby from drowning? What did she do? That's amazing.
Very good point.
I think it was more for my contribution to the community, for the charity work that I do, and also for the work that I've done in the media.
I don't know. Think about it. She hasn't saved anyone from a burning house.
Oh, she's done charity work and wrestling crocodiles. Jerome and Roxanne, thank you very much for joining us. We'd love to do a studio swap soon.
Love it. Thank you so much.
We've got to go to a break, but we'll be back with more of Studio 10 right after this.
So those are the folks from Studio 10 Australia, and I want to point out the woman, Ida Buttrose, is kind of the Barbara Walters of Australia.
Yes.
Yeah, very well respected.
They are lovely people. We had a great time doing that. Can I set the record straight on something?
Yeah, sure.
That kind of snort laugh that you heard, did you hear that?
Oh,
The
many
laughter?
times, yeah.
That wasn't me. There was one
segment that looked like it was you.
That it looked like it was me, but it wasn't me.
We don't know if it was Ida or Jess or Joe. We're not sure who it was. We'll analyze the tape. Anyway, hey, we have our chartered financial consultant.